When it's Tuesday, it's the Raw Leadership Talk. And I'm glad to be here again on the 15th day of September 2020. Welcome to the Raw Leadership Talk. Where are you tuning in from? I will be glad to have you talk to me. Well, start a broadcast. Invite your friends into this broadcast, the Raw Leadership Talk. We continue with basics for effective leaders. And I'm so glad that you could make it for the Raw Leadership Talk every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So where are you tuning in from? Tell me. I want to know you're tuning in from Nairobi. You're tuning in from Mombasa, from Nakuru, from Kisumu. Which part of Kenya? Are you tuning in from another country in Africa? Or are you tuning in from Europe, from America, from Australia, from Asia? Connect with the Raw Leadership Talk. Connect with the Raw Leadership Talk today. Today we're going to look at a wonderful topic, Basics for Effective Leaders, Part 3. Leaders parade a passion. Leaders parade a passion. Are you a leader somewhere? How do you operate? The truth is, leaders parade a passion. Leaders parade a passion. Every Tuesday, we bring you the Raw Leadership Talk. Every Tuesday, we bring you the Raw Leadership Talk. So let's get to the topic of the day. You know, leaders parade a passion. Leaders parade a passion. And today we look at part 3 of the basics for effective leaders. Effective leaders parade a passion. It is Paul Sartre who said, we must act out passion before we can feel it. We must act out passion before we can feel it. And that is the truth of life. Sometimes we want to feel something before we can act it. But you know, if we are going to be outstanding leaders, then we have to learn to act passion or act out passion before we can feel it. Before we can feel it. You know, when an outward need and an inward gift match, the leader often follows by becoming consumed with passion. When an outward need and an inward gift match, the leader often follows by becoming consumed with passion. Passion is the driving force. This passion is compelling to others. So what happens? The leader can't help but share it with those who want to get involved. He can't help it but share with those who want to get involved. So passion then becomes such a candid reason to enable the leader to go out and do something in relation to his passion. Would you want to do something or to act on something? Check yourself. Are you passionate about what you do? And I will tell you, I'm passionate about leadership. I'm passionate about people development. I'm passionate about equipping people to empower them. It is Nelson Mandela who said, there is no need to be found playing small. in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. You need to be passionate in life. When you are passionate, then there is no need to settle for a life less than the one that you are capable of living, because passion then becomes the driving force that can take you into the mountaintop of success and significance. So it's important to note that leaders parade a passion. In today's Basics for Effective Leaders, we look at this reality that leaders parade a passion. So let's look at the ingredients for passion. What are the ingredients for passion? One is burden. Burden. People that are passionate are burdened. They have burdens. You are interest and concerns. There are things that concerns them. There are things that interest them. And so they go ahead to follow their passion because they have a burden to do something in this life, to change the course of things. It could be a particular thing that they want to change. It could be the way people do things that they want to change. So they become passionate and then they have a burden for that. That's an ingredient for passion. The second ingredient for passion is convictions. Passionate leaders who parade a passion are moved with convictions. These are your values, your principles, and your beliefs. Now, one of the greatest mistakes we have today in the world is leaders who do not have any convictions. They do not have values. They do not have principles. They do not have beliefs that can move them to change the world. They do not have values. They do not have principles. They do not want beliefs. Do not have beliefs that can move them to change the world or to change whatever they are doing right now. So what I want to ask you today is, do you have burdens? Do you have conviction? Do you have your values, principles, and beliefs that move you to do something about where you are, to change the course of action, to transform people's lives, to transform people's thinking? But another thing that is an ingredient of passion is gifts. Gifts, your abilities. One of the things that you realize is that a leader who is passionate, they also have an ability to do something. And so they are moved with this ability to act and change the course of action. They see a need and respond to that need. Why? Because they have an ability to solve the problem. You remember in the part one of this talk, Basics for Effective Leaders, we looked at leaders that effective leaders perceive a need. And last week we looked at they pursue a gift. And today we are looking at the reality that effective leaders parade a passion. Effective leaders parade a passion. And so the ingredients of passion, burdens, conviction, and then gifts. But then the other one is needs, your desperate circumstances. They know how to act in their desperate circumstances. They feel they need to do something. They feel they have the power, the capacity to solve a particular problem. And so they move out to parade a passion because they can see needs and act on them. And then opportunities, your occasion to get involved. And so leaders who parade a passion, they are able to see opportunities and go ahead to act in response to these opportunities to change a situation. Today, there are so many opportunities in the world, but it will take leaders who are passionate, who see the reason to respond in accordance to what is happening in the world, in accordance to what is happening in the world. Let me tell you, it is Deepak Chopra who said this, that yes, in all my research, the greatest leaders looked inward and were able to tell a good story with authenticity and passion. I like that. He said, yes, in all my research, the greatest leaders looked inward and were able to tell a good story with authenticity and passion. And because of this, they were able to tell their story, get others to be involved with what they were talking about, and something big happened. If you're going to be a leader who is able to parade passion, then you will need to learn how to tell your story with authenticity and passion, because passion makes you believable. Passion makes you believable. You may have all the knowledge, all the strategies, all the capacity, all the ability, but you know what? When you do it with passion, today people may look and see it's a joke, but tomorrow when you're consistent with the same passion, and next week and next month, people will find a reason to identify with your passion. People will find a reason to identify with a passion. Let me tell you this, that passion makes up for a lack of resources. Passion makes up for lack of resources. No doubt, resources are nice to have. I do agree that resources are very nice to have. But history shows many leaders were not rich in money, people, or even talent when they started. History shows that many leaders were not rich in money, people, or even talent when they started. They simply started because they had a passion. They began to talk to people. People identified with that and began to see the evidence of their passion. Their passion moved them. It was the drive that kept them moving towards the right direction. And boom, change began to occur. And slowly by slowly, then they were able to have money. People came in who were the greatest resource, and talent was sharpened and identified, and they moved in to do great things. So are you in a situation that you think, look, what is that I can't do? What is that I can't change? Yet I do not have money. I do not have people with me. I don't look like I have great talent. Let me tell you this. You have passion, and you can parade that passion and begin to do something to change your community, to change your organization, to change your nation. And you will find out that when you act in response to that passion that drives you to do the right thing, then step by step, your leadership influence will increase. Your leadership influence will increase. Passion generally begins with interest. What are your interests as they relate to leadership and needs around you? Passion generally begins with interest. What are your interests as they relate to leadership and needs around you? Look around. Begin to introspect and see, what are your interests as they relate to leadership and needs around you? Definitely, you will find something, and you can begin to act in response to what you find inside of you. But another thing that is very, very key, another thing that is very, very key is that when we identify that interest, we must be consistent to follow through. We must be consistent to follow through. What makes you cry or makes you angry? What do you feel strongly about that you often feel driven to act? If you look inside of you, if you are very, very keen, then you realize that there's something that makes you cry. Is it injustice? Is it lack of, talent or lack of self-realization in the community? Is it youths who seem to be going wayward, that you feel something needs to be done to equip these youths, to empower them? Is this something that you feel lacks in the society? Could be moral decay, degradation, dilemmas of every kind among our youths or young ladies that you feel you need to do something to. Is it the kind of politics that we have that you think something needs to be done to change our vulgar politics? What makes you cry or makes you angry? What do you feel strongly about that you often feel driven to? Is it family? The way there's a lot of, family or domestic conflicts, family, conflicts that you feel something needs to be done to help people learn how to live with each other in love and to better themselves? Is it our educational system that you feel, no, we've been stuck here for so long? I feel something needs to be done to change this, and I think I have the capacity, I have the strategy. What makes you cry or makes you hungry? What do you feel strongly about that you often feel driven to act? You feel driven to act. Is it lack of food security in our country or in Africa or in the world, or food wastage? That if something needs to be done to help people change this. Leaders, effective leaders, they parade a passion. Effective leaders parade a passion. And today you can act and begin to parade your passion. You can act and begin to parade your passion. It is Barbara Corcoran who said, you can't fake passion. When you're passionate about something, people will definitely see. People will definitely see that you are passionate. You are simply passionate about something, and you want to do something to change the situation. You can't fake passion. Don't try. Allow passion to develop from inside and then begin to do something about it, to parade that passion. It is Oprah Winfrey who said, passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. This is the drive. Passion is energy. You may feel like you want to give up, but you know what? When you are passionate about it, energy comes in and you find yourself moving in the right direction. Effective leaders parade a passion. I'll kindly invite you to visit our website, www.publicspeakingtc.org. See the kind of program that we offer there, the Professional Speakers Course, Leadership Development Program. You can also take the opportunity to order for my new book, Eradicating a Poverty Mentality, that I believe will begin to change the way you think, and your approach of life will be completely transformed. Like our Facebook page, the Africa Center for Public Speaking, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or you could drop us an email at info@publicspeakingtc.org. Looking at the screen right there, you could see the numbers passing by, or call us through the numbers that you see on the screen. We'll be more than glad to respond to you. It's my joy, ladies and gentlemen, every Tuesday to connect with you and to bring you the Raw Leadership Talk, even as I give you these nuggets every Tuesday to help you become a better leader. All of us are in a journey. And on this journey of life, we can always do something to transform ourselves and become better people. May God bless you, and see you next week.